right, it's great to be part of, it's great to have you be part of our day today. This is Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. I am Henry Igwebike.
And I'm Choma Okohe.
All right, straight up, we be heading straight to our newspaper headlines to see all that we have for you this morning. And right after that, in a jiffy would be our main conversation also for today, while we get everything all sorted out for you. Please do well to be part of our community. Have a say in what we say. You can always find and reach us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may also like, comment respectfully, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. With us today to go through all that we have on our newspaper headlines, virtually we have Charles Idehu, a journalist and public affairs commentator, and Fred Nzako, attorney at law and development economist. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome to Enterprise Morning today.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you so very much. All right, so let's kickstart today with the first newspaper on our desk. It's coming from the Punch newspaper. And we have on the top strip here, federal government projects 44 trillion naira revenue as reps oppose tax review.
And still on the top strip, we have 4 marketers spend 833 billion naira on fuel imports. That is reports coming and details are on page 62.
Yes, and also outside of the shores of Nigeria, aggrieved residents protest as king. Politicians visit Spain flood scenes.
Okay, moving on, Nigeria's forex market unstable, says fifth, and details are on page 60.
Yes, and also government allocates 18 billion naira compensation for Lagos-Calabar Highway.
Okay, moving on. The big story here, hashtag end bad governance. Northern governors, ACF orders demands minors release. And we have a rider to the particular story. North must wake up. Bala Muhammad charges region. Sans Vifa on arraigned minors. Let's start with this story, and I want to start with you, barrister. Looking at SANS differing on the arraigned minors, and the North is saying, Bala saying that they must wake up and they demand that the minors be released. Let's start. What is your reaction? Charles, over to you, please. What's your reaction to this?
Okay, well, first, let's look at the case in point. I do understand that when you look at their ages, they are quite young. But again, I did what I do is I dug into our body of laws. Before now I think I have been making mistake about who a minor is in Nigeria, because I personally was using the universal adult suffrage, which places the age of a major at 18. Now, once you are 18 and above, you have attained a majority age. Once you are 17 and below, you are a minor. But I saw the Nigerian Criminal Code, and I was shocked when I saw Section 30 of the Nigerian Criminal Code that says that it's only a child that is below the age of 7 that cannot be held for any criminal activity, any criminal action at all. If you are between the ages 1 to 7 and you have done something, no criminal charges can be filed against you. But again, if you are between the age of 7 and 12 and you have committed a crime, and you are able to, you'll be able to ascertain that you know what you are doing, the child is liable to be dogged. And then when you are between the age of 12 and 14 or 15 or thereabout, before you can go to prison or something. So, but again, these children, when you look at what they have done, is it a crime against the state? The answer is yes. Is it weighty enough for them to be dogged? The answer is yes. But are they being detained in a manner that could speak well of our image? The answer is no. Because I know that there are laws in this country. If Fred is sitting, I'm sure as a lawyer, he will also bear me out, that you have a place for juveniles. I think they call it remand homes. People who are under the age of 17, you take 18, you take them to those remand homes where actually that was where they call correctional centers before. Everywhere is now correctional center. Both prisons, correctional center. So I think that's what I fight with. I quarrel with the issue of lumping these young children and the older folks together and then call them criminals. But I had expected that the government of Nigeria would properly profile them and separate them using the age differentials. So you put those ones who are under 17 in a remand room, and then put those ones who are 18 and above in a prison facility. So that's where I find it wrong. So, but the fact that whether they committed crime, yes, it's a crime against the state when you hoist the flag of another country in a sovereign state.
Yeah, but Charles, some legal luminaries have argued that nowhere in our constitution has it been stated that flying the flag of another country is a crime. Nowhere in our constitution.
Okay, well, when you look at it, flying the flag, but somebody asked on a radio program this morning, I was on the radio, they said, how about churches and some organizations that are hoisting the flags of other countries? That's a different thing.
Yeah.
No, that's a different thing, because what they do when you hoist the flags of other countries in your premises is that you are saying that it's either you maintain presence in those countries or you have something to do with that country. It's different. But when you are in a protest, you are calling another nation to come and take over the affairs of your own country. That's insurrection against the state. It's clearly different from when, like, for instance, Enterprise TV, if you maintain a presence in America, for instance, you have bureaus in South Africa, you can watch the flag of South Africa in your premises, because you are saying that you maintain presence in those places. If you watch the flag of Japan, it means that you have something to do with Japan. It's different when you are protesting, you are hosting the by that country and calling that country to come and take over the affairs of that country. That's insurrection, and that's treasonable felony. What every child, they have done it, I think they are liable to that section 30 of the Nigerian Criminal Code, which is what I'm saying. But again, I said where they are detaining them, the manner is what I quarrel with.
Yes, but I think we can go on on this particular issue. But I would love to ask, looking at the ages of those, responsible for this, it's been argued also that some of them might not even understand what they have done. In fact, they don't understand why they are there in the first place. So is it okay to criminalize someone who doesn't have an idea why he's being docked in the first place?
But I'm also aware that there's an expression. They said ignorance of the law is not permissible, right?
For someone who
you can't say you're ignorant of that law.
For someone who
the law, there's no proviso. The law did not make provision for any proviso that if you don't understand. He said ignorance of any action is not permissible in law. If you say, I didn't know, but again you did it. Okay, you are supposed to have been told about this and that is a law against the state. Yeah, okay, people are saying they are minors. I agree, because they look minor, but again, they have not been properly profiled to know their ages. As I said, the Nigerian Criminal Code here has said that once you are 7 years and above and you have committed a crime, you can be docked, which is what the government is doing. But I know, let's wait for the government. That's why the courts are there to determine whether indeed they qualify to be docked, they qualify to be criminalized, and also let's leave the cost to do that. What I'm saying is that let's do children with a properly profile, let them take them to appropriate places like juvenile detention center. That's the only way I think Nigerian authorities is getting it wrong.
Thank you so much, Charles. Now let's move over to the next story. And from what we've gathered, we hear now that the embattled cross-dresser Idris Okonaye, popularly known as Bobrisky, has reportedly traveled to London just hours after his release from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, custody. And this information emerged via a post on his Instagram account. Bobrisky was apprehended by the EFCC while attempting to board a flight to London amid allegations of bribery and evading a jail term. And following his release, he posted a video from an aircraft with the caption, "See you soon, Nigeria," indicating his swift departure.
So what do you have to say to this?
What do you have to say?
I missed that news where the last thing I thought was when he was hounded and he was brought out of the aircraft. And I also learned that he said he sustained an injury that was being treated. That was the last news. I never knew that he had left Nigeria. But if he has left Nigeria, it means that there's something wrong with our system. There's something wrong that we still went on.
There's something wrong with that system. But he's not been indicted for anything.
And he was never on the wanted list.
Yeah, he's not on the wanted list. So why is that a bad thing for our country to have allowed him, leave?
the case of money lender, they said it was dropped. I think it was being activated. You don't also forget certain things. If you recall, there's what is meant, I think the Director General of the Nigerian, is it CBAC? CBAC is the Center for Black Africa. I can't recall that body now.
Yeah.
I think it's Ronchewe, who about 3 years ago said that Bobrisky, whatever he's doing is an embarrassment to the African culture. It's an embarrassment to the Nigerian value system. So he even wanted him to be arrested at that time. So I think the government has been, Bobrisky has been an embarrassment to Nigeria. It's an embarrassment to me as well, because what he's promoting is against the culture of Nigeria. It's against their traditions. That I don't know, even in Igbo culture, where I'm sure Shoma, you are in Igbo. I don't think in Igbo land whether they will applaud the person for somebody. So suddenly you're a man, you're not a woman. I don't think anywhere in Igbo land they are going to
Charles, I think it's very important that we maybe not misinform. Bobrisky had always stated that he is a man. He's just a cross-dresser who desires to maybe wear women clothing, not that he has transgendered. According to reports, especially when he was about to go into the correctional service, it was stated that he is a man. So he's just a cross-dresser.
But again, you and Chioma, if you bring the child there now to look at both of you, is it difficult for the child to know if Chioma is a woman without even saying it? Because there are features, there are bodily features that will say this one is a woman, this one is a man. But when you look at Bobrisky, are you not confused that he's sporting breasts and all that? I mean, as if he says a man, why is he sporting breasts? Why is he doing his eyelashes and painting fingers and all that? Where you come from, your village, is that how women look like? The answer is no. So I think, and you also know that there's a law against this. What do you call it about
LGBT? There is a law against LGBTQ, but there's no law against cross-dressing.
No, yes, there's a law. You see, the government has been, I am just telling you that it's possible that the government has been looking for ways to prosecute it to serve as a deterrent. We remember that even as soon as he was arrested, when he was jailed, even though that is also shrouded in controversy. You know, you remember this other guy? James Brown. Yeah. James Brown. They went underground, which means they went underground, but they were so sure what they were doing. When was last time you ever heard of Jerry this news in the media? When was last time you ever saw him in any event? Exploiting the other day I saw a picture of him, he has cut his hair. He's cut his hair. It means that they are not even properly convinced of what they're doing. So Bobrisky, for me, I actually is an embarrassment to Nigerian culture. It's an embarrassment to the value system that Nigeria stands for. And I'm not even talking about Africa, because it could happen elsewhere. But I'm talking about Nigeria.
Charles,
for me, it's an embarrassment.
Okay, Charles, it is being believed that he has got high and mighty behind him. Because if we should go through the books and go through the facts that is spread on the table, he's been arrested, and at the point he's released, and some Nigerians are feeling that, are they toying with them and actually making them to believe they're trying to actually pass a message? Meanwhile, they are trying to deceive us and just swift us left, right, and center.
Well, I want to totally disagree with that school of thought. Because I said that Nigerian there's something wrong with Nigerian. I mentioned that in my part of my opening sermon, that there's something wrong with the Nigerian system. Somebody you think is, I mean, he knows people in big places. These people have picked up their call, they're trying to go, it's okay, let that guy go, and then let him go. But if you compare it to somebody who's a small fry in society, I'm sure the person would have been tried in the manner of speaking. But I think he knows a lot of people, and that's why Bobrisky seem to be getting away with all this, the nuisance, the societal nuisance, and all this entertainment news or whatever. For me, it's personal to me. I think anything about Bobrisky, I always don't want to even twist on it as a media man. Because for me, it's doing some things that are improper to the Nigerian culture. So that's improper to even humanity as a whole.
Yeah, very true. All right, so let's move on quickly to the Daily Trust newspaper. And the big story here, and bad governance, the families of detained minors cry for justice. And some of the writers here, I thought my son was dead. Falana or the lawyers challenge bail terms.
Okay, moving. Okay. Moving on, still on the Daily Trust newspaper.
No, before you move, sorry, Chioma,
Yeah.
Chioma, before you move.
Yeah.
I don't want to let go of about that man that said, I thought my son was dead. It tells you the negligence of some parents. Okay, some places of not once they don't give children birth to children, so we are told. I mean, they ask them to fend for themselves. That's why if you go to the street of Lagos, go to the street of someone, you see children who are just barely 10 years old, they are dead. They have no knowledge of where their mothers are. They have no knowledge of where their fathers are. Can you imagine somebody say, I thought my child was dead? So all this while that your child was missing, you couldn't have, there was no attempt for you to locate him, to look for him until you saw him on TV, you saw him on social media. So it is part of the problem. You just give birth to children you can't take care of. One man will have about 5 wives because he said his religion permits that. Then you have 18 children, and then you have 34 grandchildren, and then there's no means of, you can't trace any means of survival to them. They just procreate and multiply children and say they should go and look fend for themselves.
So do you think?
Can you imagine that?
Do you think there's something the North needs to learn from the South of Nigeria, with respect to what you just said?
There's something to learn, but they can't learn it because cultures are different. We may be the same country, but cultures are different. Over there, they are. The list of Panama Northerners is not too much. We just give him food and give him something to wear. Because that's why exactly you see that there's a deliberate attempt to force a culture of class in the North. When you are rich over there, you safeguard your own domain. Your children, you send them to the best school and all that. But any other person cannot break into that circle at all. They are existing. So what they need to do, these people, every Friday after the month, they go camp in Hana and Cuba and for Rakadere, they give them peanuts that can take them to the one meal that can take them to the next day. So as long as they walk them down, as long as their head down there, then those people who are the oligarchs, they continue to launch over them. And when they finish, they change over for them. And that's why you have had this culture of discrimination in the North. But here in the South, everybody, you can look after yourself, you can go to school, and then you get emancipated. But over there, you are not allowed to be emancipated at all. So it's something that they have to be looked into.
All right. So let's look into other stories here. Naira depreciation pushes Nigeria's debt up by 47 trillion naira in 1 year.
Okay, still on the top strip of the Daily Trust newspaper, Dangote reviews petrol price sells at 990 naira per litre.
And also 2 Kano NNPP reps dump Kwankwaso movement.
Okay, let's get to the main story, which we'll be looking into. Wanted terrorist leader Habibu Dango arrested. Details are on page 7. Charles Sidaho, how do you see this story? Can we say our security personnel are now on the move and they're doing the right thing? Because Dango is now arrested.
You hear of news filtering into the public space that such person will be arrested. But again, no sooner than you get the news, the fizzles out. What really happens to them when they are arrested? Where's Wadume? Remember you said Wadume? Where's Wadume today? Is there any latest about Wadume? Is there any latest about Kabiri Sokoto? Okay, remember those that were celebrated, the arrests were celebrated? Where are they today? So it's not, once you do arrest, as I said, somebody will just pick up his telephone call and call powers that be, and then before you know it, they are let off the hook. And then they go back again, reintegrate themselves into the system that is not making us to work out. So I think when people are arrested, let us send them the American system where nobody is bigger than law. Nobody is bigger than the law. But I'm not saying we should go the extreme of the China system where people have to be beheaded or they take it to the gallows. But there are other ways you can actually ensure that even the body of laws they are implemented, they are also enforced. That people, certain things can serve as a deterrent to ensure that people are of best behavior in this country. But as it is, very soon, give it a week. That news will be soon out, and you know exactly what happened to that young man.
Yeah, but speak to us on this particular case. How feasible do you think it is to detain these people when allegedly the current government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, there have been people serving under this administration that have been in one way or another allegedly linked to terrorist groups? And do you think it's even possible, to have people, go to jail for their actions when it seemed to us like those who have supported them are in the corridors of power?
do you think that it's easier for people to go to jail when you? I mean, I mean, one of the writers that Choma read about a certain governor, okay, not a certain, I think I'll mention his name, Bala Mohammed, the governor of Bauchi State, he's now looking for a not must wake up. So when you have this dichotomy, north-south dichotomy, or something happens in one part of the north, it becomes another problem. Okay, everybody, they want the whole north to queue up and begin to fight it as a northern problem, when it ought to be a citizen problem. All right, but down south, anything happen in Abia State, for instance, it's not a certain problem, but they want to deal with it and isolate it and look at it even the way it is as an isolated case. But anything happening over there, it becomes another problem. Is that where you're going to be able to enforce the laws and all that? So you see that this dichotomy is always there, and it has tended to act as a centrifugal process that is put on from the center. Every man looking at how to be on. So, but down south, right in the south here, we look at things on their face value. But over there, everything becomes not. You affect one, you affect all. But so, when you look at that kind of system, it might be difficult for us to say, okay, people will do it. And don't also forget that even Jonathan said that time, former President Jonathan said, there were how people who were sympathetic to the cause of going in his government. Have they left his government ever since? Have they done proper profiling of staff? And if you go to the military, have you not heard of some soldiers and they said selling arms to those insurgents and all of them? So unless you do proper profiling to know who some of those people are that actually sympathetic to the cause of this battle, then we never be able to get out of the woods.
All right, just before we let you go, please, I think it's very important that we do this. It's on this day newspaper, and this story is about Bobrisky, end of tenure, Thanksgiving. Bobrisky celebrates achievements and successes. Please speak to us on this. Are you part of this celebratory tenure? By Bobrisky?
I hope you're asking a question because you know I do. I used to be close to them. I used to be close to the Bobrisky camp. See your man there is aware of it. I used to be very close to them until I decided to fall apart with them because of certain things that will not happen that ought to have happened. Some of us who are from that state, we are applying our trades and our profession elsewhere. We have roots, we have connection with them, but there are certain things when they do think that they could do better. Bobrisky actually came in with such promises, certain promises. But I think, I think I explained it when I was in studio sometime when I had to make a distinction between a student of government, a student of politics, and a student of power. Bobrisky is the first standard of his tenure. He was a student of politics. A student of politics will always look for how to assuage people to know what to need to give to people. But when he becomes a student of power, because he now started fighting even imaginary enemies, that's exactly what actually did him in his second and the final tenure. So he going to church for Thanksgiving, but I owe it to him. He on his own is proving his chair that he has done well, but whether he has done well remains to be seen. People who will access him are those who are going to be accessing him, depending on people who are sympathetic to his cause. They say indeed he has done well, but some people are thinking that he didn't do well at all. We say okay, he has no right. But again, it's hard to go to church as a Christian. It's also right if we were Muslim, also go to mosque to go and do Thanksgiving. So I think we let's give it to him, and then the government is going to be coming. We give the government 1 year, 2 years to see whether indeed they are going to outdo Bobrisky's claimed performances.
Well, thank you so very much. We do appreciate your time and your incisive discussion. Thank you so very much, Charles.
Thank you, Charles.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harry. It's the beginning of the week and it's already interesting.
Very well.
And when we return, Nigeria and Libya may just be on the verge of a major diplomatic role. And this time, it's not politics, but football, or the politics of it. The Stay tuned. We'll be right back shortly.